Alongside the Insiders, Pierre LeBrun, Chris Johnson, and Darren Dreger. And gentlemen, as hockey fans have been asking the question for a long time now, when do we get more money to spend? And Pierre, there is news on the salary cap.
Yeah, as expected, because if you go back to the Board of Governors meeting in New York, Gary Bettman said he thought next year's cap would be around 87, 88 million based on the players finally paying off their pandemic debt. And that's what they told governors on this day. 87.7 million exactly is what the cap is expected to be for next season. I don't think that's where the news really will be over the next few years. Talking to some governors, the Bally Sports Network and the issues there financially, where will the revenue figures be in 2 years, in 3 years? Will the cap be going up? I'm not sure.
One of the revenue issues recently over the last few years really has been the situation in Arizona. Is that coming to a head?
It could. I mean, it sounds like there's positive developments around the Arizona Coyotes. Now, you're not going to get Arizona to confirm this, but the understanding is that they're in the process of firming up a piece of land to build a new facility on near Phoenix. And the expectation is that as long as they can close on this parcel of land, they'll do that early in the new year. So that will be music to the ears of many of the other teams and the owners and the governors sitting in this room.
Speaking of finances, a big ticket potentially for the NHL draft, CJ?
Yeah, you're talking tens of millions of dollars to get the Sphere in Las Vegas. And obviously this is a story we've been following. It sounds like it is getting closer, though, to where the NHL does feel that it could pull the trigger on that in terms of having the 2024 draft at the end of June at that building. Would be a big splash for the league. But what I'm curious to see is what happens when that's brought up to the governors in this room on Tuesday. You know, how do they react to that news? Is it a case where Gary Bettman says, hey, this is what we're doing? Or is it going to be more of a feeling out from the owners, whether they're comfortable with that kind of price tag? But certainly, you know, it does sound as though if everyone's comfortable with it, that we're very close to having a draft location finally finalized.
Pulled aside Ottawa Senators owner Michael Andlauer as he's making his way out of the room, and he really made some pretty strong comments about his coach, DJ Smith, and about the way he started his day in a rather interesting fashion.
Yeah, I mean, he's touring facilities around the National Hockey League, and it made good sense with the Board of Governors meetings here that he and a couple of his development partners would tour Climate Pledge Arena. And they're just, again, trying to formulate what's the best plan, assuming that the politicians get in order, the local money is there so that the Ottawa Senators can move forward with a new facility. But busy day for Michael Andlauer. You know, he also met with us, of course, as a media group, but he answered some tough questions by you, Gino, and the assembled media talking about the future of DJ Smith. What does that look like? There wasn't a vote of confidence, but appreciably, the Ottawa Senators fans continue to go after DJ. And he also talked about the potential of adding another body in management. Will Steve Staios hold on to the GM job? Will they add a president? Those sorts of things. So he was very accommodating today.
The governors also heard a presentation on artificial intelligence. The league says we're going to use it wherever we possibly can. We asked some of the owners when they came out, they said, oh, I got a headache. I just didn't get it. But it sounds optimistic.